Good morning. I'm going to tag a few people before I get started with this one. This is going to be a powerful video, and it's going to be talking about the chemistry of emotions, response, and reaction. I'm going to talk about a few things and how this actually works compared to what you're actually being taught, told, and programmed to believe. Hold on a second. Tag some folks. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. The last video with the suit went over very well, so I think I'll continue the trend for now. Minus the tie. I don't care for the tie. I don't like mocking tongues. I don't like square knots and neckties. It really chokes me up. Just don't like them. Give a shout out. Say hi. Where you're from. Say hi to the people in there. You guys are all great people. Every one of you work hard to expose what's going on. And everybody has talents in different ways. Tag your friends. Talk a little bit about what I did for work. People always asking me, how do you know all this stuff? How do you know all this shit? Hey, Steve, good morning. Yeah, the suit and the suit coat's going over well with the peeps. I'll keep it for now. They don't know what to think. Me all looking like a corporate banker. Messes with their minds a little bit. So I have a background in sales and debt collection and cold calls and travel sales door to door, and a background in narcotics when I was a teenager. But through all of this experience, it's taught me a lot of things. And we're going to go over these. Like, people don't understand what their body is. They're not told anything about their body. They have no idea, no understanding about what it is or what they are. If you ask somebody what they are, their first responses will be, they'll say their job title, what they do for a living, or their name. But if you tell them not, you can't talk about occupation, and what are you? Don't use your occupation or your name to define yourself. What are you? See, that's a huge void in the mind to understand. What are you? And you start looking at yourself, well, you're 12 functioning systems that operate your body. Your nervous system, eyes, ears, auditory, vision, see, perception. You have 12 systems that function to create this field around you. You're a 12 by 12 walking, talking, organic computer, a binary system. And all these things are connected through your heart. The very hair on the back of your neck, your beard, your hair, it collects and receives frequencies from the air all around you. It feels. You don't think so? You ever feel when somebody's staring at the back of your head? You know somebody's eyeballing the shit out of you? The hairs on the back of your neck raise up when somebody's eyeballing you? Because energy has been directed at you. Consciousness has been directed at you, and your hair is like, whoa. So there's feelers and sensories. Your hair is. It's antenna. Start looking at some of the older cultures and looking around and realizing that the hair is an antenna. That's why they had long hair. But this video is mostly going to be about feelings, because people don't know how to act or behave. I don't even like to use the word act, because you're not supposed to act. You're not. When you talk about the Bible and take away religion and just look at the written word of it, there's a lot of good in there, but there's a lot of upside down manipulations too. The biggest things that you can get from it are literally the verbal words that Christ spoke. And some of those things are along the lines of, you're supposed to be a witness. And when you think about it being a witness of the Gospels and testify about its effect, you're supposed to be neutral. Witnesses observe things. They do not physically get involved. That's not the definition of a witness. Witnesses speak and stand, and only speak and stand about what they partake in and what they see. They only allow things to happen, and they respond. They do not allow emotions to control their responses and how they just make action. And that's exactly where the push and pull comes over the average people, is through emotions. It's realizing that if I can make you feel, I know you're going to act. All I have to do is make you feel. It doesn't matter if I make you feel to the left or to the right. I made you feel. I win. I made you feel. I made you move. I made you commit to action. I win. And that's causing you to feel something. And I'm at you at this all the time, because witnesses do not feel. They do not emotionally respond to things. They see the positive, they see the negative, and they make a neutral, understood decision in the middle. They don't define things as good or bad. They simply understand them for what they are, and they respond. They do not react. Doctors tell you constantly that you need to express your feelings. This is a con job. That turns you into metaphysical flip-flopping fish. Okay? It turns you into metaphysical flip-flopping fish on an emotional tether. It doesn't matter if I make you feel positive or negative. That's my agenda. That's my goal. I've made you commit to action. I've made you sin. I made you sin because you judged, because you felt, and you defined. You judged by using your feelings. That is your power. You felt some kind of way, so you committed to action. Whoa. Right? So your whole life, your feelings are your judgments. That is you defining things as good or bad. You are labeling. You are defining. You are judging. And the one thing you're not supposed to do is to judge anything. It's not your place. It's not your job. This ain't your home. The body's not who you are. You don't own it. It don't own you. You don't own your stuff. You own nothing. You're nothing. You're a witness. That's all you are. Witness to consciousness. Running around, flip-flopping, feeling some kind of way because you were told to. By a television ad. By a radio ad. By a commercial, by a song. By a movie. You're being told how to feel. No one ever says you don't have to feel. You don't have to feel any kind of way about anything. And that is a witness. You're only allowing things to happen and realizing there's energy and action and motion and tetrahedrons and atomic matter, atoms moving around. There's nothing but atoms moving. There's always atoms moving. You have no control over nothing. That is only ego allowing you to build your illusion that you have some kind of control. You have no control. You don't own yourself. You were registered as property to the federal bank when you were born. You have no control. You're a 13th Amendment citizen. You have no control. Your surety, your property. You don't own the unseen deed on your home. You pay airship taxes on your property. You don't own nothing. You don't own your children. You don't own your guns. You don't own your cars. You pay excise tax to use the roads. You have no rights. You pay taxes on everything. You pay taxes on your labor, taxes on your food, taxes on your water, taxes on your car, your property. Everything is taxed and you own nothing. Your food is genetically modified, chemically poisoned. The air you breathe, chemicals being force-fed to you in your water supply. Healthcare, that's a joke. They don't care. And you don't even care about yourself. You wouldn't need a doctor if you did care about yourself, because you'd take care of yourself. See how that works? If you don't care about yourself, who will? So take care of your own damn health care. You don't need them. They ain't there for you. They don't care. They're selling you poison. Don't believe me? Go read the side effects for any medication. Are you going to the doctor because of the side effects of the pill you're taking? Are you taking another pill because of the side effects from a different pill? Do you see how this escalates? You're taking pills because of pills and counterbalancing and fucking seriously messing up your body. They're not there for you. They're there to rot you from the inside out slowly. They're there to rot the fish. And you're a fish. You went to school, right? And doctors rot the cod. And Peter Pan says you're a fucking codfish because you were Captain Hooked. Yeah, you better believe you were Captain Hooked. Fished into an emotional fantasy, an illusion that was given to you and you assumed it to be true. It appears to be real, but once you start looking at it, it don't make any sense at all. Because everything, no two history books are telling you the same story. If there's only one God, why are there 2,000 religions and interpretations? And why are they all owned and operated through the same printing presses, owned and operated by the same families and the same money? Follow the money. When it comes to your eyes and your third eye and all of these things, there's a lot of information that you've never been shown before, you've never been told about. And they just don't tell you. They don't even tell you it's there. They don't give you an owner's manual on your body. They give you the car keys without an owner's manual and tell you have a nice life. You don't even know how to drive a car. And you're just figuring it out as you go. And your reality is based on what you know, what books you read, what you've been told, and what the people around you know, and what you feed your soul. What movies, what books, music, all that shit affects the physical aura of who you are. The words you speak, the word you write, the action you commit to because your feelings, based on your perception, which is based on your amount of education. How much do you choose to know? How big is your world? Is it VH1 and MTV and cable? Is that the extent of your knowledge? How many books have you read? Who do you know to be truthful? Who's ever told you the truth? Where did they get their information? Do they have a motive for giving you the information that they're giving you? These are the questions you should be always asking yourself. Always. When somebody tells you something, those are the first three things you should think. Why are they telling me this? What's the motive for them to tell me this? Does it benefit them? Is what they're telling me truthful? Where did they get their information from? Where did they get it? Where did it come from? What source? Is it good or bad? Why are you telling me? Are you trying to get an emotional response out of me? Or is it my best interest to know this information? You see how this is how you should be looking at everything in your life, every decision. Yes, they want to trap you in. How big is your world based on how much you know? Do you know about the crystalline frequencies? Do you know the fact that every animal, plant, person has an aura frequency? Do you know that everything is an energy just changing form from one form to another, and energy never dies, it just changes shape and resonance and density? And all energy turns on to the point in the center? It's mathematically possible and proven by me. That's what these feeds are all about. That's what my work's all about. This universe turns to a center point because everything has a middle, including creation, because there's a middle of sound, which is the center of source. And that's what my math proves, is there's a center to source, and there's an infinite repeating pattern in mathematics that's being hidden from us that proves the existence of consciousness and intelligent design to this reality, which means it proves God's existence. Consciousness is God. But consciousness is motion, and our interpretation of motion is time. Current itself, in motion of atomic matter, is literally consciousness itself. It's motion, time. Outside of time is God. Outside of all things is God. It's consciousness and transportation of itself. It's moving. They don't want you to understand that. They don't want you to understand that your brains are connected into that same consciousness that created. You're the reverb. Your body is the pit of the fruit. It is not the harvest. It is not the product that is desirable. It's the beginning. It's the soul consciousness that is the meat and the fruit. There's more to this reality than your eyes can see. The physical world is the middle of it. Your ego just has to stop getting in the way. Can you see a hummingbird when it's flapping its wing and watch it fly? Can you see the wing? No, you can't see the wing flapping, but the bird's flying. But you can't see that wing. You can't see the wind, but you know it's there. And speaking in quantum metaphysics, do you think in this natural universe that the vibrational state that you're living on is the only state that has life? You don't think there's vibrational states that have life that your eye cannot see? How big is big? How big is small? Who decides? What if you're only this fucking big? What if you're just a peanut? Your ego and concepts of control and thinking all there is I has got you in this reality thinking that you're of some kind of importance. So everything you do doesn't really fucking matter because there's always shit going on. The question is, did you matter in your lifetime? Did you make a difference? Will you be remembered? Did you count for anything? Were you a hassle? Were you an aggravation? Did you cause people to be fucking sorrowful? Like dragging people down? What kind of shit were you pulling off? What did you do with your time? What did you trade it for? Candy bars? Fucking car? House? What did you trade your time for that was worth your soul? Because that's what the game is. You're trading your soul for money. You're trading your soul time for money. Being converted into a human battery. That's what you're doing. The TV tells you how to feel. You go out and buy some shit. Because they told you on TV how to feel some kind of way. The reality is you don't have to feel any kind of way. That's what Christ said. And honestly, if he came down here today and saw the way things are going, he'd be like, what the fuck are you doing worshiping my fucking face? That's what he'd say. See, I told you not to have no idols. I told you not to have no symbols. I told you not to have no icons. He never called himself teacher. He never said, call me master. He said, I'm your brother. We come from the same father. He didn't want to be put on a fucking pedestal. He didn't want to be put on a fucking pedestal. No. His teachings were a port key to the understanding of how to get the hell out of here. And he told you many times that the kingdom of heaven is inside your own self. He didn't say it's above your fucking head in some box going to come down here onto this plane of existence. He said the understanding of heaven is inside your own ass. And how you feel and how you vibrate and how you create and manifest based on your emotions, your fucking education, your interpretation, your perception, based on the questions you've answered and the books you fucking read. You create and manifest your reality based on how many questions you've asked. People are like, I don't like answering questions because I get more questions. That's called learning, stupid. You didn't fucking come in here with all the information. It's a game. You're supposed to figure it out. The only thing you can take out of here is the questions you answer. So what do you trade your time for now? Now that you're seeing this for your own self, how does it benefit you buying things from another country? Right? We got to start talking about how to affect change for our neighborhoods, communities. Well, for starters, buy from farmers, right? Your local farmers. Keep them in business, right? Barter and trade with your thrift stores. Keep them thriving. Keep your money in your communities as much as possible. Keep it in the country as much as possible. Any way you can, keep it in the country as much as possible. Realize that fucking everything is corporate owned and none of the corporations are American owned. It's a game that's being played. All the corporations are owned by 4 corporations that aren't even, none of them are American. They're all Jewish. They're all Zionist ran. Sorry, follow the money. Forbes even wrote a magazine article titled The 4 Corporations That Own the 147 Corporations That Sell You Everything. That means 4 corporations own all the corporations that sell everything. 4 corporations. So just buy as local as much as you can. These corporations are putting your mom and pop shops right out of business and putting everybody on to welfare. Yeah, I know, Lisa. I know. Exactly. It's all coming from China. They're trying, right. We talk about free trade and human rights and all this shit. All we are is buying Chinese communist slave labor, and we're addicted to it. There is no corporations that are owned and operated by Americans. There's no corporation that's owned and operated, bank, money. Our money is not owned by us. We have no say or jurisdiction over our own money. Later, Tony. Have a good day. Yeah, we're getting lazy. It's the effort that we want to put into things, right? All food. We're a product of what we eat. diet is the reason why people are dying from cancer. What the hell we eat, what we drink. We're not drinking things that are good for us. We're not eating things that are good for us. Oh, surprise, we die from fucking diseases based on chemicals that are put into our food that we don't even know what they are. Can't even pronounce them. But we sit there like good little fucking hamsters and we eat that shit. We don't even question it because we got an FDA that's supposed to be there for our interests. Well, as an ex-insurance agent, I can tell you that 80% of Americans die from digestive tract failure. 80% of Americans die from the fucking food that they eat long term. Okay? I could tell you analytically the numbers on anything. Okay? The national average age of a man in America when he dies is 72. Retirement age is 69. See that? They got you working all the way up until they're done. Hell no, they're fucking trying to kill you. Wake up. Take your guns. Restrict your rights. They have created every fearful situation in the history of this country, the people who print our money. Investigate the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. There's a great book, Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde, the mystery of I can't remember the exact title of the book. The creature created on Jekyll Island. It's all about the Federal Reserve Act, 1913. Congress was bought out then. They had a gang of 8, 9, 10 congressmen, just like they do now. And the law was passed into play over a Christmas break when most everybody was away. And it was buried into the law books without the consent of the people at all. It was a corporate espionage. It was an act of treason. It was signed into law by President Woodrow Wilson, who was only president for 4 days and died from a flu. Your religions are all owned by the Catholic Church. Every church is owned by the same entity. They're all 501c3 corporations owned and operated and certificated. Your Bibles are being mass printed by the same family, which is why I tell people religion is not truth. None of them are right. I don't even have to look at them because I studied money and I know that they're all being printed by the same family. It ain't even worth looking at to me. I know that fact and knew that fact. All my life I've known that fact. I know the history of money. I know where it comes from and I know who owns it and I know who they were then and I know who they are now. Just like I know who I am. Everything is an illusion. We're living in a duality of what the truth really is. So whatever the mainstream opinion is on something, it's always backwards. It's always backwards. The truth is always opposite of what is popular. So, massive psychological thing that's been going on for thousands of years. When you understand the history of words, the game just falls apart. There. It just crumbles. When you understand what words used to be and what they are today, the different words, past and present, you figure it out real quick. So their game, right, is to make you feel insecure over anything. It doesn't matter. Fear is hate. Hate is fear. They're one and the same. There's only 2 emotional states. There's love and there's hate, fear. Okay? You love to hate fear, right? So Okay? So that's positive and negative. But you don't have to feel any kind of way. That's the fulcrum. That's the point in the middle. That's that purple point. You see the positive way to look at it. You see the negative way to look at it. And you come to a purple decision, a balanced decision based on feminine and masculine energy. This is what alchemy is all about. This is what Christianity is all about. Understanding oneself and how you operate and how you tether into the physical plane of existence that you're walking on. And to see the positive and negative in everything and just stand and be a witness. And there's nothing not moving. You're standing in water, atomic water, metaphysical sea. And everything's always moving. Nothing's not moving. You're breathing in water, just like you're full of water. There's water under the soil and aquifers. There's water in all things. There's water in every state, liquid, solid, and vapor. Everything is a three-state system: positive, negative, neutral. Physical, conscious, and spiritual man, 3 stages of man. Beginning, middle, end. Mid, early, late seasons. So, yeah. Everything is a fractorial state. Nothing is not in a 3-state, 3-phase system. Everything has a positive, everything has a negative, and a neutral point. But my math is showing you that the neutral, everything is one and the same, and everything in the universe is coming back to that neutral point, which is the all point. That's the point in the middle, above all things. Everything ties back to that. That's the center of sound and creation source. God. Whatever you want to call it. It's not what we're doing. It's not what we're being taught. It's above religion. I don't have an opinion. I don't have a religion. I have an understanding of natural law that cannot be contradicted. I was born with a gift to see the metaphysical. Society tried to label me as autistic. In the occult, that means gold stick. And that's in reference to measurement, the golden reed. So autism was a gift. And those people were builders. They had an ability with sound and numbers and vibrations. It's being interpreted wrong, and it's being misdiagnosed and mismanaged and mistreated. And because of that, those people are being mentally and physically and emotionally abused by society. There's over 400 mental illnesses in the medical definition of mentally ill. I can label anyone I want mentally ill. I have 400 labels to fit you into one of them. And every year they add a new one. This year it's oppositional defiance disorder, ODD. They got all kinds of terminologies. Who's calling who mentally ill? What if the doctor is mentally ill? What if he's Charles Manson on the mind, Dr. Kevorkian, and he's got a script pad and he wants you to die? What if he's the one we're calling you mentally ill? See that? That's a scary idea right there, isn't it? What if the doctor's mentally ill? What if he's schizo? What if he's a fucking mass murderer? And he's got a script pad. And he's there for your best interest. And you're going to have all the faith in the world and keep going back. and you're sad and you're having suicidal tendencies and you're slob knocking fucking fluoride pills and you can't figure out why. But these warning on the side effects, these pills may cause suicidal tendencies, my violent mood swings. Hey, Tony, good morning, brother. Good morning. That's all right. Appreciate you stopping in. They're not here for your best interests. Investigate, you know. I can tell you that school teachers and bankers and people that live inside, 70 to 80% of them are on an antidepressant. Okay? I could tell you that from the numbers, and I could tell you why. I know why. Want to know why? Because you don't go outside. You don't get no sunlight. You don't go get no moonlight. You don't get no outdoor energy. You don't have time. You're in a fucking box in a cubicle in a building all the time. So you're lacking vitamins from not receiving natural light that you would get from being outside. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of those things that you're suffering from, vibrational state adjustment, all you need is a sound wave adjustment. Solfeggio tones. There's different tones for different states of mind, and they will release chemicals in your body to help alleviate different things. Pain, depression, anxiety. Yeah, and people don't talk to each other. They don't know who their neighbors are. They get boxed into technology and social media. It's designed to keep you trapped in your home and not let you know who your neighbors are. I have more people that follow me around the world than people in my neighborhood. I chose it that way, actually, but that's besides the point. I didn't really want them following me. But I mean, in typical, it's the same thing. You don't need them to tell you how to cure yourself. They don't care about you. They're trying to fucking kill you so they can cash in your birth certificate, rot you slowly, reduce and limit the amount of time that you have on this earth. Get you to trade in as much of your time as possible. They don't care about you. I'm telling you that most everything you're suffering from, you can find a tea for it. They just do an investigation. What are you suffering? Cross-reference your ailments with a tea. You'll be amazed. You can make a cure out of every herb. Every herb will do something to help alleviate a pain, an illness, anxiety. You'd be just so amazed. It'll blow your mind. I drink SCOBY mushroom tea. I could produce it myself. They do a good job. I spend about $30 a month for this tea, right? It's 2 6-packs. So $30 a person would cover you a month. And what this does, each bottle is 2 doses. Each bottle, you could do it in 3. You could break it into 3 doses. This is called Synergy. They have a website, synergy.com. If you've never seen this label before. And Kombucha is a mushroom-based tea that creates living organisms, probiotic bacteria that helps remove the crap in your digestive tract. It helps strip you clean, and it deteriorates and goes right after any precancerous cells that are in your body. Would you believe if I told you I was pushing 40? I'm 37 now. Would you believe that? I look pretty young, I think. I don't use no anything. I don't take no vitamins. I don't take no pills of any kind. I just detox with this. I'm a pack-a-day smoker. All that crap. You know, I'm not innocent. Nobody's perfect in this reality. All sins are sins. Even thinking them is a sin. Even thinking about a sin is a sin. See that? You chose to think about the thought in your head. Yeah, it gets down to that. It's your choice to think about whatever you think about. You choose it. You choose it. You choose to react or respond emotionally. You choose it. You choose the words that you speak. You choose them. Everything's your choice. You're just trying to say, oh, I can't help myself. You can't help yourself. Why? Because your emotions control you? Who controls your emotions? The television? Zionist Jews? And the corporate bankers? They control your emotions? Is that who's controlling you? You have no control over yourself. The TV runs you. You have no individual thoughts for yourself. Where do you begin and the commercial TV ads end that are in your head? You control a lot more than you give yourself credit for. You don't have to think about anything. Get a thought in your head, you can cancel it out. You don't like what pops into your head, tell it to go away. You don't have to think about that shit. It's your choice. See that? It's your choice. It's our understanding of choice and free will. Our free will was stolen from us. And how they stole it is by taking away the understanding of a neutral position. You don't have to feel. That is your center ground. That is your center ground. That is your center ground. That is your power. You don't have to feel. You don't have to speak. You don't have to think about the shit that pops into your head. You don't have to. You don't have to jump when somebody tells you to. Somebody calls you a whore, an asshole, a shitbag. So, okay, thanks for clarifying. Now what are you? You don't have to feel any kind of way. That's your choice. You want to. You like to. You like to react. You like drama if you do. It's your choice. That's what television is so powerful a tool. It tells you how to feel. Tells you what to feel. Tells you what to buy. How to feel. And then you feel inadequate because you didn't buy the shit your neighbor bought. You're keeping up with the Joneses. Watching Kardashian's stupid ass. Chasing fucking fidget spinners. Pokemon Go. The fuck? A new car is not going to bring you happiness. It's going to enslave you and put you into a debt. You got to paint your fence because your neighbor did? What the hell do you do anything for? When do you make a individual choice that didn't have no peer pressure on it? You just did it because you wanted to. Not because of what somebody else said or what something told you. You know, these are simple things. You only realize when does your education end? It doesn't. It fucking doesn't end. Stupid. You learn your whole fucking life. Your education does not ever end. The minute you stop learning, you die. If you don't ask questions, you're not living, you're dying. That's all you get to take out of this place is your experiences and the questions that you answered. You don't get to take your house, your bank account, your fucking car, your fucking bling, your 22-inch wheels. I don't give a fuck. You don't get to take none of that shit with you. Was it worth your soul? Was it worth your soul? Because that's what you traded for. You traded your soul time for that shit. Was it worth it? Where are you standing now? Where do you think you're standing? You think you got a connection to God? You think you got a connection to God? Well, let me blow your mind. First commandment says honor the Father's name. Father's not a name, and neither is God. That's your first commandment. Honor the name of God. Well, God's not a name, and Father's not a name. Neither one of those words are name. Lord's not a name either. Are you really tucked in tight with God? Do you know his name? Are you honoring that very first commandment? Do you even know the sound name? Because those three words are not names. Those are titles. They're not personal. Those are forms of address, description of position or title. They're not a name. It's not personal. It's formal. Like Mr. and Mrs., mom and dad, doctor, lawyer, teacher. They're titles. They're not names. So, are you Christian? Let me tell you another little thing. God does not like repetitive behavior. He does not like ritualistic behavior. Not one bit. Doesn't like repetitive prayer. Doesn't want you doing shit repetitively. So sitting in a church pew, sat pew, stink, shit, sitting in your goatee shit every Sunday at 9. That's a ritualistic occult behavior. You're sitting in your own shit in a pew every Sunday at 9. God doesn't like that. Not one bit. Are you Christian? Are you a witness? Doesn't like it one bit. Christ told you 100 different times that your body is the church. Not a corporation or a building out of brick, mortar, wood, or stone. The blood is power, your current. Electricity inside you, your vessel. That is the church. Are you Christian? Or are you running around judging everything, feeling some kind of way? Are you standing in the water? Are you witnessing? God said everything was in his image, did he not? What's not an atom? What's not one? What's not moving state of atoms? What is not an atom? It's a trick question because everything's an atom. Nothing's not one. Everything's a vibrational state of the same thing, atom. That's a reverb. Nothing's not atom. Everything is atom. The understanding of your reality has been manipulated and turned upside down and sold to you backwards. I contradict anything I'm saying because I have no intentions. I don't benefit from this in any kind of way. I don't ask for anything. And you can't prove me wrong. And I even say you can't prove me wrong, and it's not an ego, it's a challenge. People don't like to hear you can't prove me wrong. I know they don't like to hear that. That's why I say it. Get you emotional. Make you feel some kind of way. Really fuck with your ego, doesn't it? I don't care. You can't prove me wrong. I've been there twice. I've died twice. I've been there. Don't matter. That's the fun stuff I never even talk about. Don't need to know that shit. Doesn't matter. Math does all the talking and needs to talk. My work speaks for itself. We are a reflection of our intentions. Our words manifest into our actions based on our heart's intent, our feelings. And our heart is influenced by our education and our understanding of what it is we are, what it is that we're in, and the understanding of it all. The less you understand, the more you're afraid. People are only afraid of what they don't understand. And that's your education right at the heart of it. And your religion controls your education, and they're all controlled regionally by the same money. Follow history money. You'll figure it out. Don't allow things to influence you. Live day to day. The mistakes of yesterday, admit to them. You're learning. Nobody has all the fucking answers. And I know that the more I know, the more there is to know. And I really don't know nothing. I just know a little bit more than the rest. I also know that I don't have to open a book. I know that every question comes up, I'll know the answer. And it will be right. It doesn't matter. The answer will always be there. It never won't be. I just, do I want to do what's right or not? Or what's positive or what's negative or what's neutral? What am I? If that's all your choices are everything, what do you intend? I'm just here. This is a game. I'm along for the ride. I'm a peanut in the watching a show. There ain't nothing I can do about nothing. I don't own myself. I don't own nothing. Don't own my car. Don't own my home. Don't own my children. Don't own my guns. I don't own nothing. You're in that boat too. You better start looking around and figure it out for yourself. You don't have a lot of time. You really don't. Start asking these questions. What am I? I'm not my name, and I'm not my job title. And I did not evolve from a monkey, because there wouldn't be any monkeys. Where did my family come from? Your origin, your culture, your history. If you don't know your past, you're doomed to repeat it. And you're blind to it because they don't want you to know the past, because they want you to repeat it. They don't want you to know what happened before, because they want you to repeat it. And that leaves them in power still. Learn your past. So good questions I'd be asking myself is, what is under the Grand Canyon? What was the name of this country 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago? What was the name of Christ 2,000 years ago? What does Mother name him? How come there's no female character in the Disney cartoons? And how come almost every government employee is a woman? How come? Who's teaching the children? Not the woman. Whose job was it in the family nucleus to be the educator? The woman. Who's not doing their job? The woman. Who's blaming the problems on somebody else? Who's deflecting? The woman. Blaming man for all the problems when she's the curator, an educator, and stepped out of her position as teacher educator. And now she's mad at the world, but it's her fault in the first place because she's not at home taking care of her kids. So those kids are being raised by television, government suggestion, commercialism, and everything else that's freaking horribly wrong with this world. Women think they're better than men because they can carry a child, right? Isn't that the concept here we're talking about? Well, how do you have a baby if you don't have a seed? How do you have a baby if you don't have a seed? You're just as important as a man, and a man's just as important as you. You don't get anywhere one without the other. Sorry, you're no better than a man. Didn't say men were better either. I said you're no better than. That means equal to. Balance. It's ego and an attitude of entitlement was a whole propaganda encouraged by George Soros and the women's rights movement of 1947. Learn your history. Every Democratic Party is a Nazi affiliation, and they're receiving money from George Soros, historically speaking, and currently. My feed. Oh, look at that. Oh, those poor people on Facebook, they really don't like me. It's third time. You know, every time I'm hardwired into the internet and they're trying to say I lost signal. How do I lose signal when I'm hardwired into the modem, you fucking idiots? We know you're spying. We all know what Vault 7 leaks are. We all know our refrigerators are spying on us and our home phones. We know that you're ticker taping everything we do with RFID trackers and our IDs, security cameras at Walmart, retina scanners. We know you're evil motherfuckers. We know. We know you don't want your plans being revealed, but here we are spilling the guts. You don't like it, do you? That was for them. Hi, Facebook spies. We love you. Why should I pretend that I don't know that they are watching? They're part of the audience. I'm affecting their brains with my truth. They don't like it. Oh, even in their own head, it will affect them. You don't have any rights. You have no right to speak. You need to file a petition to get a permit to speak in a free speech zone. Think about that. That's right here in Bangor, Maine, United States. You got to file a permit for a petition for a free speech permit so you can go speak in a zone on a part of town where nobody can hear you. You have no rights. And if you cause a civil unrest, you'll be arrested for domestic terrorism and held in a political prison in a third world country where you can be held there indefinitely without a lawyer. You might be lucky if you get a bucket to shit in. You don't have any rights. The only thing you can choose to do is not be fearful and not just don't react. Don't feed in. Don't consent. Don't agree. Speak. Don't hold your peace. You got something to say it. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be fearful for. It's stupid to be fearful. Don't be afraid to ask a question. If you want to know the answer, ask the damn question, or you won't get an answer. You'll be stuck on it forever. Don't allow fear to waste your life. I'm afraid to do something because you don't know how to do it. You'd be amazed. Give yourself a chance. Most every time, if you can't find an answer, I guarantee if you write your question down on a piece of paper, read it out loud, by the time you get done with that process, you'll probably have your answer. You just needed a different perspective. You needed to write it down or hear it. You needed to use your other senses. I really hope this feed causes some change. Just like all the other feeds I do. I don't ask for anything. I was never given anything. I was never even counted in this society. I don't want nothing. This fucking world is shit in my mouth. It's fucking poison. It's all poison, and I know it. I'm not game to fucking be anybody's mule. I don't want nothing. So they can't get their hooks into me because I don't want nothing. I'm here. I have no control over anything. I'm fucking aware. I'm living in the now. Mistakes yesterday, I can't do nothing about. There's no point even, for the most part, there's really no point in even holding on to a memory. You know? You only live in the now. You learn, take the experience and move forward. Don't fucking hold on shit. Can't do anything about what hasn't happened yet. All you can deal with is right now. That's it. Your mistakes, don't let them demonize you. If you can't forgive yourself, how are you going to forgive somebody else? Everybody fucks up. Everybody has sins. It's taking moral responsibility when you fuck up. That's a man and a woman. Admitting your fault. Going making it fucking right. It's ego that won't let you. Guilt, shame, good. That's part of the fucking punishment. Go make it right. You fucked up. I don't care what you feel. You fucked up. Go be moral and make your ends meet. Go fix it. You chose to fuck it up in the first place. That's your guilt. That's your shit. Go repair it and it's gone. Admit to it. Own it. Own your fucking shit. Don't lie and point it at somebody else. Own your shit. We don't. Hey, Randy, good morning. Peace, brother. Define your thinking. Is it good or bad thoughts that are going on in your head? You choose to think about that shit. That's the beginning of the war grounds right there. What side of emotions are you feeling? What side of that fucking war? Are you feeding into positive? Are you feeding into negative? It's your choice to think positive or think negative perspectives. Right there. Which one wins? The one you feed. Quit feeding either one of them and you fucking win. You don't have to fucking do anything. Nobody can physically make you do a damn thing. It's your fearful mind that allows you to be controlled fearfully. It's your choice to feel. And out of your feelings come your actions and your intentions. And then your words and then your letters. I'm going to end this one right here. That's a pretty good video. You guys, need help? You got questions? Want material? Inbox me. Emerald Tablets of Thoth is a beautiful piece of information. The Book of Thomas. There's over 30 canons missing from today's Bible. 30. You think you know something? You really don't. You really don't. I do this because I'm tired of the shithole fucking world that we're living in. That's why I do this. I do this because I know what's going on. I do it because it's morally right. And I do it because just like you could not watch somebody being harmed or molested or raped on the side of the road, that's what's being done to you in the unseen world. And I can't stand by and do it anymore. I can't watch it.